highlights from that and something that I didn't share during that hour that I wanted to share with you now. A lot of times it's so easy for us to believe that for whatever reason, whatever season we're in, or maybe a transition period we're in, or something that's going on in our lives, we just feel this sense of this lack of purpose, this lack of meaning. It's probably the number one thing that my community shares with me that they struggle with. Like, I'm in a transition. I had this job and now I don't, or my kids are, flying the coop, or whatever transition it is. And people, feel like, oh, I'm not sure what my purpose is in this season of life. And what I shared with you earlier is that purpose doesn't come from any of that. Purpose is God-given. You have it already. You're oozing with purpose. The problem is you don't see it. So we talked about in that hour how to teach you to see it, how to give you a perspective shift so that you can see all the ways that you are doing it. And if you want to experience it more, you want to experience more purpose and meaning, do things with more purpose and meaning, like you mean it. And it reminds me of the story of the bricklayers. So Christopher Wren, I think, shared this little parable in 1671, but he observed three bricklayers on a scaffold. One was crouched down, one was half standing, and one was standing tall and working so hard and fast. And to the first bricklayer, he said, "What are you doing?" And the bricklayer said, "I'm a bricklayer. I'm just laying bricks to feed my family." The second bricklayer responded, "I'm a builder. I'm building a wall." And the third bricklayer responded, he was the most productive of the three, future leader of the group. And when he was asked what he was doing, he said with a sparkle in his eye, I'm a cathedral builder. I'm building a cathedral to the Almighty." So we could all be doing the same things. That's why I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what you're actually doing in your life, what stage of your life you're in, where your job is, whatever. None of that matters, because what matters is how you see what you're doing. Do you see the miracle of what you're doing? Do you see the purpose that you bring to everything? Do you see that really our purpose is just to love and be loved? And the more you train yourself how to do that and get everything else out of the way and learn to see that that's actually what you're doing, the more you will experience a rich life where you feel the purpose and you feel the meaning of what you're doing. So we're going to start today with your potential. We're going to be talking about how to unlock the amazing, incredible potential that you have been given in your life. Okay, all of you sweetie pies in the chat, I never should have given the style guide. You got to come back to me. This is important. Come back to me. We'll give it back to you in a little bit. Don't post it again, Angela. I know the style is what you came for. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to talk about your unused potential. Raise your virtual hand or tell me, just type a 1 in the chat if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is potential in you that you're not using. If you know that there are giftings that you have been given that you're not using. When I had my first reinvention, I was practicing medicine and I was just like I am now, just like oozing with too much energy and too much color. My earrings were too big. I walked into a meeting with all of these serious medical people who had like their briefcases, and I had on a sundress and a denim jacket and a cute tote bag. And I pulled out all of my journals and I pulled out all of my colored markers. And I looked around and I was like, one of these things is not like the other. And when I set up practice for my medical practice, I was a family doctor. And when I set up practice, I set up my exam rooms looked like this. I had art on the wall. I had lamps. I had beautiful books. I had activities for the children. I set my office up almost exactly like this room looks. And it took me a while to realize like there's so much inside of me that I'm not using that doesn't seem to be welcome here. And it made me realize that just because I spent my 20s learning how to be a doctor, and just because I had invested so much time and money, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to reinvent yourself. It's okay to ask yourself, what is for me? What's next? Do I want to keep doing what I'm doing? It's okay to redecide your life. It's okay to come, to a class like this and ask yourself, am I using my gifts? Is there creativity and passion and energy and giftings in me that I'm not using? And the reason this is so important, y'all, is because unused giftings aren't benign. I'm going to read this quote from Brené Brown. I use it a lot, but I think it's important. And if you're new to me, then you're going to be like, ooh, ouch. Brené Brown said, unused creativity is not benign. It metastasizes. It turns to grief, rage, judgment, sorrow, shame. And there was so much of me that I wasn't allowing to be used. I was pretending like I didn't have the childhood that I had. I was ignoring so much of myself because I was only bringing to the table what I thought was okay to bring to the table. I mean, I was pushing it with the colored markers and the journals and the sundress and the denim jacket as a doctor. But there was so much more that I still wasn't using, that I wasn't sharing. And what happens with you and with me is when we have those unused gifts, we have so much inside us. Here's the thing that makes me so passionate. Women my age, we get to this point, I'm 53, we get to this point where we're like, well, most of my kids are gone. I don't know what my purpose is now. And we just bow out. This is when people need our wisdom the most. You have hard fought wisdom that the world needs. You have gifts that nourish people back to life. You know what we are as women? We're the life givers. Don't take yourself out. Don't decide that you've done your part. Listen, I was talking to one of our clients the other day, and she just joined Life Mentoring School in December. And she said, before I joined Life Mentoring School, I was thinking of retiring. I'm like, listen, you better get out now, or we're going to have you like training to be a coach, because we don't let people retire around here. We need you. We need your gifts. And so many people, when we get to a certain age or when we get to a stage of life, we just decide like, maybe my work here is done. I mean, I do jokingly say that my children know all the words to all my favorite country songs. So yeah, maybe my work here is done. Or 10 Minute All Too Well for all my Taylor Swift fans. Tom knows all the words to 10 Minute All Too Well, by the way. He's our little adopted guy. And so I sometimes will joke my work here is done, but seriously, this is when we need you most. What are the gifts inside of you? I want you to tell me in the chat the gifts inside of you that you know you're not using. Just write them down right now before you have time to think about it, before you have time to like, oh, I hope if I write that, then I'm going to be held to, doing something about it. No, just be as honest as you can. There's part of you that's hiding. You're afraid. You're afraid to be rejected. You're afraid you're not enough. You're afraid you're too old. You're afraid it's too late. Whatever it is, there's something in you that's not getting out. And what I want to tell you today and why I'm so passionate about it is because those gifts in you aren't benign. They're powerful. And you can use that power for good if you actually unleash them, which we're going to teach you how to do today. But if you keep hiding them and you keep pretending you don't have them and you keep dismissing yourself because you think you're not qualified and you keep telling yourself it's too late or you're not young enough or you're not old enough or whatever, and you just keep diminishing them, they will turn to something that turns on you. They will turn to grief and rage and judgment and sorrow and shame. You will find yourself looking at other people and being so critical of them. You will find yourself judging people. You will find yourself feeling so resentful. You will find yourself complaining so much about your life. You will find yourself hiding in shame, afraid to share what you've been put here to share. Listen, there's a million coaches out there. I could say to myself, why should I teach a workshop? There's lots of other coaches teaching workshops. You know why? Because nobody does it quite like I do. And nobody does it quite like you do. Nobody has your particular past, the pain that you went through, the training you've done, the learning and growing that you've done, the life that you have lived that has brought you to where you are. Nobody can offer it quite like you can. And the world needs us. We sit around on Facebook, scrolling, complaining about the world and how bad it is, but we're the answer. We're part of the solution. We're how the world is healed. We are the hands and feet of God in the world. And if we bow out, what happens when you bow out? What happens when you disqualify yourself? Some of you today are disqualifying yourself because you feel like, you've done something that disqualifies you. I used to think that for so long. How can I teach this, do this when No, that's exactly what qualifies you. Stop making your humanity disqualify you. Bring all of you. And what I mean when I say unlock your potential is I mean unlock you. What makes you unique? The gifts that only you have. We want all of you. I spoke on this past Friday in a foster care, to a group of people that help with foster care. And I was driving to that event and I was so heartbroken because I've been walking this adoption journey with our little 10-year-old. And there's so many things that I haven't done right and so many things that I would change. But mostly I was so grateful to myself for the work that we've put in, for showing up day in, day out, for being there, for bearing witness to his life, for being the one who cleans up his mess when he throws up, for being the one who gets up in the middle of the night. A million ways that we have lived our purpose by showing up. And you've been dismissing yourself too, because you're not doing it perfect. And I want you to know that we need you. We need your gifts. We need your wisdom. We need your nurture. We need your love. We need the particular way that you show up in the world. Right after I was speaking at that event and my heart was just shattered for all of these babies and thinking about my own adoption journey, I'd drive to Pittsburgh and just have the time of my life with my 20-year-olds. We danced our little hearts out. We sang I Will Survive. Has anybody ever done, like a karaoke version, or you've been at a piano bar with, your girlfriends and you're just singing I Will Survive at the top of your lungs? Well, that's what we sang. And my girls were looking at me like, what has this song unleashed in her? Like with my whole heart. I know all the words with my whole heart. We were dancing and singing. This is what I'm talking about. Living my purpose. Unlocking my potential, not leaving anything, like giving it all. How do you show up to your life? How do you show up to sing and dance with your 20-year-olds? How do you show up in all of your humility and all your humanness? And I want you to begin to realize that this life is short. I ask at the 10 o'clock hour, I'm going to ask you, what would you change if you knew today was the last day? This is the last 30 days. This is the last 90 days. I don't want to have regrets. I want to go all in. And there's so much in you that needs to come out. So many gifts. You know how God provides for people in the world? He doesn't rain down poetry and music and steaks from heaven. You know what he does instead? He calls farmers and musicians and poets and coaches and teachers and nurses He uses us to do his sacred work. Everything you do has purpose and is swimming in purpose. But let me ask you, what are you still holding back? What are you still holding back? What haven't you given us yet? What have you been too afraid to share? What have you been hiding? How are you self-sabotaging yourself? Just ask, where is the grief and sorrow and shame that's coming out because I'm hiding my gifts, because I'm not living in my full potential? I'm not using my gifts to the full in ways that I could be. Let me tell you something. You were created to contribute your gifts, and nothing, write this down, sister, nothing will satisfy your soul until you say yes to what you know you were called to bring forth in this world. Stop running from it. Stop hiding from it. Stop living unconsciously. Stop numbing yourself because you can't stand the pain of the unused gifts in you. It is time to go all in. It is time to uncover the hidden potential in you. It is time to unleash your gifts and your power in the world, to unlock your full God-given potential. And when you do this, your life will feel like it's on fire. You'll feel like you can't wait to get up in the morning. You'll feel like you're too busy giving your gifts and living your life to compare yourself to everybody else, to judge what everybody else is doing. It will bring you untold satisfaction. Let me tell you something. When I quit my job as a family doctor, I was lost for a while because I had so defined myself by that. I didn't know what to do. I taught myself how to bake bread. And then I started shopping on QVC. I bought a sewing machine one time in the middle of the night. And my husband, then when it got delivered, was like, "Do you sew?" And I'm like, I think I'm going to learn how, but no. And I just got into these habits because I didn't know what to do with myself. And I felt lost. And I had so much to give that was inside of me that I wasn't using. Thank God I found the tools of coaching. I hired my first coach not too long after that. And I realized, oh my word, I've been delegating my meaning and purpose to a job. That's not where the magic is. The magic is in you and how you do what you do. How you do what you do changes the world. How you do what you do heals us. Nobody can do it quite like you. And I want to share with you, before I get too far gone, I want to share with you, this is in your handout. I want to share this with you because this is truly important, because some of you are like, well, but my gifts aren't like hers, or my gifts aren't like yours, right? This is what we say. But let me tell you something about unlocking your potential. Unlocking your potential means unlocking your true self. I do this teaching in Life Mentoring School, and it is life-changing. It's basically how to live as your true self. I'm going to give you just a little taste of it today. But we have these parts of ourselves, this part of ourself redeemed by God, loved by him, that is the new man, the new creation, created for love, created for forgiveness and abundance, created for compassion, to serve others, created to be strong and resilient, created to serve, created to unleash our amazing gifts on the world. There's that part of us. And then there's the part of us, and some of us are stuck right here, right now. I know. There's the part of us that lives in fear, that's afraid of being rejected, that's afraid it's too late. I'm not worthy enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not old enough. That lives in fear, that has a tendency to not want to forgive, that judges, that compares herself to other people and feels like she's never measuring up. That part of us that lives in lack, that part of us that have these limiting beliefs that keep us stuck, That part of us, as we talked about in the first hour, that thinks, well, I don't even know what my purpose is. I don't have any dreams anymore. That's just a story. That's just a limiting belief that you've been living by for so long that it's become your habit. You're not meant to live like that. You're meant to live in love, compassion, forgiveness, joy, abundance. That's what you're made for. So when I say unlock your full potential, I mean, how do we go from here, from all this fear, from this bitterness, from this anger, from this resentment, from this apathy, from this disappointment? How do we go from there to living as we were created to live? It doesn't mean that when you're living here, there's no pain. There's still plenty of pain. There's plenty of pain, but you've learned how to live in a way that justifies the pain. You're going to have pain either way. Pain is a given. Joy and forgiveness and love are not. You have to choose those over and over and over and over. And what I realized when I got into my set of bad habits to cover up all of this, what I realized is there's not enough cute shirts in the world to satisfy the ache in my soul. What I realized is there's not enough cupcakes. There's not enough alcohol. There's not enough good jobs. There's not enough anything to do that, because you know what we were created for? We were not created for comfort and ease. We were created for a grand adventure in which we live on this side of the fence. We live as our true selves, and we embrace the challenges that come with being a human. That's what we were created for. And we keep trying to get to a place where things feel easier. No, the question is, how can I unleash more of me that makes me stronger so that more of me shows up in the world? I was listening to a training recently that so inspired me by Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about the science behind literally unlocking your potential. And what the science says is this, that if I take you, and he said something funny, like if I take you out of your dopey little village and I put you somewhere else that asks more of you, what will happen in your actual body is that your genetics will change. You will turn on genes that code for proteins that change who you are. There's genetic material in you that hasn't been unlocked because you haven't been willing to say yes to the challenge of life. You haven't been willing to open up yourself to unlock this potential, because what unlocks it is saying yes to the challenge of life, to all of it. And when you do that, you will become more than you are. Like, think about that. That blows my mind. There's more to you that has never been expressed because you won't put yourself in harm's way, because you're too afraid, because you can't get out of the story of your past like I was stuck in for 40 years. And when you're willing to do that, there's more of you that we haven't seen. That makes me want to cry my eyes out. There's more here that hasn't been released yet because I haven't been willing to say yes to what would have been my full adventurous journey in this life. What in you hasn't even been unlocked? What part of you have we never seen? What part of you has never been released in the world because you haven't been willing to find out who you really are? You think that you're some version of yourself from yesterday or 3 months ago that thinks the same terrible thoughts and feels the same level of disappointment day in, day out. And you think that can't be changed. And the truth of the matter is, there is part of you that has never even been genetically expressed because you haven't been willing to say yes to the journey. What are you? So listen, there are some gifts. I just ask you those that you know are holding you back. But what in you hasn't even had the chance to be expressed that you don't know about because you haven't been willing to say yes to this journey of becoming who you already fully are? It's already there, y'all. It's there. You have to take the steps to uncover it. So what are the steps? We're going to go over it. The first step is simple and, not easy at the same time. The first step is decide to unleash the gifts inside you. It's a decision that you make. When you make a decision, today's the day. It's like you put a stake in the ground. Some of you really struggled with making the decision even to come to this workshop. I'm so proud of you. Your brain is like, what is she doing? I told somebody yesterday, I said, listen, some of those people should probably back out now because they're not going to be the same when this is over. And then they're going to have to deal with what they learned. And I really believe that you are one decision away from changing your entire life. And sometimes we've had people in Life Mentoring School that stay in Life Mentoring School for a year, 2 years, because they just keep uncovering things that they need to deal with. What's the truth of your life that you have not been willing to deal with? It's time to deal with it. Just decide today. Some of you made that decision just by being here. Some of you, when we open up Life Mentoring School in 20 minutes, some of you need to make a decision to go on this journey with us because you need some encouragement and accountability on the journey. It's not going to be easy. You have to make a decision to do it. It's not going to land in your lap. Remember what I said, the pain of this world is a given. The joy of being your full, whole self in the world and unlocking your potential, that's not a given. Most people won't. But you are here, which tells me that you're the kind of person who will. You won't just watch this and then go back to living the same life that you were living. And I want you to make that decision today. I want you to think about your amazing, bright future when you decide to become everything that you could be. When you decide enough is enough of living the same way that I've lived for over a decade or 20 years, or maybe if you're like me, 40. Enough is enough. Put your stake in the ground today. And you've already done it because you're here. Just decide today is the day. I want you to look back on this day and I want you to go, that's when I decided. That day, that's when I decided. And I want you to be willing to do whatever it takes to unlock the gifts inside you because we've never needed them more than we do now. We thought, during this whole crazy thing with the stuff in 2020, just the way the world has changed in the past few years. We were all wondering, how will that affect what we do? People have never needed our work more than they do now. Let me tell you something. If you're worried about what's coming in the world, you need this more than ever because we've got a way of seeing the world that you're not going to hear on the news and you're not going to see it in a Facebook chat. And you need to be armed because hard days are coming for all of us. Get yourself in rooms where people are making themselves stronger instead of wishing the world were easier or wishing the world would change. It's not going to do it. You know who's going to change? You're going to change. So the second thing that you do, and by the way, if you're deciding today, just put today in the chat. I want to see all the people deciding today's the day. Put it in the chat. Number 2, you unlock your potential by choosing growth. I'm just going to get quite honest with you right now. Some of you, there's part of you that needs to die. The part of you that's living as your false self, that's living from your ego, that's living in unforgiveness and resentment and bitterness. The part of you that has lived by procrastination. The part of you that lives from terrible thoughts like, I'm not qualified. I don't have a purpose. I don't know what my dream is. That's a story you've been telling yourself. That story's done today, friends. But there's part of you that needs to go. This is what reinvention means. You know, it's the season of spring. It's the season of Easter. This is about death and resurrection. What in you needs to die today? Maybe it's some self-sabotage. Maybe it's some self-limiting beliefs. Maybe it's the habits that you've gotten into that aren't serving you. Maybe it's some relationships that have gone sour that really need some help. Maybe it's the way you're living your life in your body, your health. But there's things about the way you're living right now that are keeping this potential locked inside of you. And you got to be willing to let those go. You got to be willing to look at those honestly. And you got to be willing to put yourself in challenging circumstances. This is why Angela's teaching on reinventing yourself in 90 days is so powerful, because what you do is you just set a 90-day goal. You put yourself in a challenging situation. You ask more of yourself, and more of yourself will come forth. Maybe you've been living in such a way for the past few years where you're not asking much of yourself. Ask more of yourself, and more of yourself will show up. So those 90-day goals are such a good way to do that. What needs to change? What habits need to change? How do you need to step into growth? As you do that, and as more of you is unlocked and more of your genetic material is expressed, you will become someone new. You will retrain your brain. You will expand your neural networks. You will reveal a you that wasn't even there before. And that is brought forth by challenge, by asking more of yourself. About 6 years ago now, I decided to join a CrossFit gym. And at the time I was 47, I think. And don't we at this age as women go, well, you just get what you get. This body just is what it is. It's kind of what I said to myself. I'm like, you know, I'm all right. I don't know. I just decided, like, wonder what I could do. And I went to that gym, and it felt like it was all young, buff people. That's what it felt like to me. Now that I know all the people, I'm like, oh, well, that was just him, and that was just that guy. But it felt intimidating. And y'all, I couldn't do anything in the gym when I first started. I would look at people doing stuff and go, wow, I wonder if I will ever be able to do that. And you know what happened after putting in the reps over and over and over and showing up day after day after day? I finally learned how to do a pull-up. And then I learned how to do like 5 pull-ups in a row. And then I learned how to box jump. And then I learned how to lift barbell weights and do crazy stuff, like crazy stuff. And I like have biceps now. And I mean, I'll take any of you on an arm wrestling. I might not win, but I'm just saying, I didn't know that I could make myself that strong. I didn't know my body could change. You don't know what you can do until you put yourself in a challenging situation under a heavy load. And then you learn there's more of you there that we have not seen yet. More of you gets unlocked. What is inside you that hasn't been fully explored? What gifts are hiding in there? Remember, those gifts are not benign. And if they are not used, they will metastasize. Go outside of your current life. For some of you, even joining this workshop felt so out of your life. In a few minutes, I'm going to invite you into Life Mentoring School. You're going to be like, I never imagined I'd be hiring a life coach. Like, what does that even mean? Yeah, it means go outside your comfort zone. Go into worlds you don't understand and figure out what you still don't know. Whoever said that? You don't know what you don't know till you know. There's so much you don't know about who you could become until you do it. This life is a grand adventure. Fear and doubt and your comfort zone are keeping you stuck, but it's not worth it to stay stuck there. What does the version of you look like who has fewer faults, who's stronger, who's more resilient, who's more loving, who's more nourishing, who has more wisdom, who has more fun, Who creates more joy? Where are you still weak and insufficient? Where do you need to make yourself stronger and more resilient? Are you willing to grow on purpose? Are you willing to do the work to reveal more of yourself? You were created for extraordinary contribution to this world. And it really is time that we clear out what's holding you back. Okay, number 3. Number 3 is not easy. Train your mind, heart, and body to do the work required. You can ask anybody who's been on this journey with us. There's work required here. There's work. But it's so worth it to live full out, to experience all of life, to welcome more of yourself to the table. We teach a tool in Life Mentoring School called the creation cycle. And I'm going to give you just the cliff notes of it. The creation cycle is basically that your thoughts create your feelings create your actions, and your actions over time just give you your life. So basically, your thoughts create your life. We know this from scripture. If you want to transform your life, you renew your mind, right? Take every thought captive. Why? Because those thoughts are powerful. And right now, some of you are living from thoughts that are going to give you the same life over and over and over again. And what we teach you how to do is decide on purpose what you want to create and help you create it. Because the reason you have the life you have now is because of what you've been thinking for the past few months or the past few years. And you have gotten to the point where you think that's just who you are. No, it's not who you are. It's just what you've been thinking over and over and over again. And it keeps those same thoughts keep producing the same feelings. So if you say to yourself, I always just feel a little irritated. I'm always just a little disappointed. I always feel overwhelmed. Well, that's because you keep choosing thoughts of overwhelm. You keep choosing thoughts that create disappointment. You keep choosing thoughts that create no purpose. And you get to choose. But what you have to do is not think that thought one time. What you have to do is practice the thought. Train your mind. You can rewire your brain. Right now, your brain might be wired to your false self. It might be wired to always find fault. It might be wired to always choose fear. But you can rewire it by training it to think what you want it to think. And this is the most powerful tool that I've ever I've ever seen. And yes, there are versions of it everywhere. The reason I teach it as a cycle is because a lot of people teach it as a straight line. And I think what happens is in the cycle that it goes both ways. And one of the things I love is that it creates a result for you on the inside. So it creates how you experience your life. So let me tell you something. Write this one down. You can never have a better experience of your life than your thoughts about it. Let me say that again. You can never have a better experience of your life than your thoughts about your life. So if you want to instantly improve your life, instantly improve your thoughts, elevate your thoughts, decide on purpose what you want to think. I went for a straight year and practiced the thought everywhere I look, I see miracles. And I wrote it down every day. And I trained my mind so often to think that thought that when I would think that thought, it would just generate excitement. And I would just look around for all the miracles. And they're all there if you look for them. And now I've thought that thought so many times that I can't unthink it. It just has become who I am and how I see the world. And ask yourself, what's the sentence running in my mind all the time? Tell me in the chat. Because you have the power to change that, but you have to train your mind to do it. And you have to train your mind to do it so much that it generates emotions in your body. Because you may think emotions aren't important, you guys, but here's what you will learn in my program. Everything you do or don't do is because of an emotion, If you want to change your life, you got to learn how to manage your emotions. And right now, so many of us just let whatever's happening in the world, that's how I feel. My kids say something to me, that's why I feel the way I feel. My husband looked at me a certain way, that's how I feel the way I feel. No, you're creating it with your thoughts. People can do whatever they want. You're the one who gets to decide. Do I agree with that thought? Do I want that thought to make me feel miserable? Sometimes you do. Sometimes there are things in the world that I want to be upset about, but I want you to own that you have control over it. When I was driving to the foster care talk, I want to feel the pain of that. I cried the whole way there, the whole way back. I want to feel that. But ask yourself, are you creating your life on purpose? How you're experiencing your life, you're creating that on purpose. And what we teach you to do in my program is exactly how to do this. And I'll show you in just a second, but we've been spending the first 3 months of the year together learning the principles of how to do this. It takes practice because you've been practicing the way you've been being for so long. We got to unlearn that. And then you will be able to unleash all of yourself, all of the gifts that you have been given, this way of being in the world that's unlike anybody else, these gifts that you have that nobody else has in quite the same combination. You have never been more ready for this. And I promise you, if you choose this and you agree to do the work that it takes to get there, you are about to give yourself the most precious gift of starting over. The most precious gift of reinventing yourself, the most precious gift of showing up in the world the way you want. So when you think about false self, true self, you ask yourself, which one's going to win? And I want to share with you the tale of two wolves. This is an old Cherokee teaching, apparently. And this was a person that was teaching his grandson about life. And he said, I feel like there's a fight going on inside me. And it's a terrible fight. It's a fight between two wolves. One wolf is evil. He's angry and envious and sorrowful. He has so much regret and greed and pity and arrogance and guilt and resentment and lies and false pride and ego. But then there's this other wolf, and he's good. He's full of joy and peace and love and hope and humility and kindness and benevolence and empathy and generosity and truth and compassion and faith. And the grandson thought about it for a minute, and he said, which wolf do you think will win? And the grandfather said, the one you feed. And some of you right now are living your life in such a way that what you're feeding on is not good. You have a steady diet of fearful news, of people with unmanaged minds on Facebook. You know, so much of, if you're not really paying attention, so much of the input of your life is not good. And when that happens, it makes it harder for you to live as your true self. It makes it harder for you to live the way you want to live. You have to ask yourself, which one am I feeding? That's why we have workshops like this, so we can feed the true you, so we can help unlock that potential in the world. Now, I'm going to share with you, keep putting your questions. I see that some of you have put some questions in the chat. Keep putting them in there. I'm going to show you really quick. First of all, we have a couple of amazing announcements. So I'm going to make a couple of those announcements, and then I'm going to share with you. We just opened Life Mentoring School, I think 15 minutes ago. So what we're going to do, I'm going to tell you how you can keep doing this work with us. I'm going to tell you how you can keep feeding the good wolf, how you can keep feeding the true self. I'm going to answer your questions, and then we're going to coach some people. We're going to have plenty of time to do some coaching. So if you're already in my program and you want to be coached, just raise your virtual hand. I'm going to go through a couple of specials that are very limited time specials. You need to stay on. If you're even contemplating joining us because we have a few of these that are only for a limited time. Okay. See what I did there? I like had all of these papers I didn't use. Okay, so here's how we do LMS. Life Mentoring School is a 12-month coaching program that you can do by the month or you can do it yearly. Here's what we do. We set our whole program up so that we help you challenge yourself. We use our journal, our 90-day planner, and we help you set a 90-day goal. And we help you set that 90-day goal so that you can ask more of yourself to come forward. And what happens, and you could do this on your own, but what happens is you get about 2 weeks into the goal or 3 weeks into the goal, and a lot of obstacles come. Things get hard. You start, because you're not feeding yourself the way you need to, you start taking on those old messages again. And the reason that it's so important to put yourself in places where where you will be asked to step up, where you will have some support and accountability, is because this is going to get hard. And so we set our program up so that we address all the obstacles along the way. We help you in every step of the way. So what we do is we have a monthly teaching. And we have a monthly teaching that covers something really important. We did mindset in January, emotions in February. We just covered obstacles and failure in March, and we're getting ready to do true identity in April. And then we're going to do marriage and relationships, and it just keeps getting better and better. So we divide it up into quarters. So we're getting ready to start the second quarter, where we will be talking all about your identity, your relationships, that kind of thing. But here's the cool thing. You get all of this content from the past 2 years as soon as you join. So if you join and you want to work on something that we taught earlier or later, you want to work on money, you want to work on weight loss. The other thing that's so crazy, you guys, is as you really begin to get more resilient and as you challenge yourself and get stronger, so many people in our program lose weight. I just talked to somebody the other day and she goes, I've lost like 65 pounds. And I wasn't even trying to lose weight, because we don't realize how much we're buffering in our lives because we're not living our potential. We're not challenging ourselves. And so this program will help you do it because you'll have the tools there that you need to do it. Now, if you were to go hire a life coach, and I know this because I hired a life coach to coach me one-on-one because the coach needs a coach. If you were to hire somebody just to coach you for a year, by the way, you guys are already asking, you go to lifementoringschool.com/enroll. And as you enroll, tell us in the chat, I'm going to put your name on the board. Those of you who decide to enroll right away today, we're going to add you to a group called the Innovators Circle, and you get extra calls with me. So if you know you're going to join, do it today. Tell us here. We're going to put your name on the board in just a second. But I hired a coach and I pay $30,000 a year. I pay more than that for all my coaches. If you were going to hire a life coach, it would probably at least cost you $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 a year, something like that. And that would be with no curriculum, just for coaching. The link to join, could you put the link in there, Angela? Oh, she did. lifementoringschool.com/enroll. If you were going to hire somebody, that would be just for the coaching. And then we give you this 4-step framework so that as soon as you join, you have all of this incredible teaching that will support your transformation, that will support you doing what you want, that will help you create your truest self, your deepest purpose, your full potential. You get that. For most programs like mine, it would be around $6,000. We have small accountability groups that are incredible. We have 17 different small groups a week that you can join. So the big coaching group where everybody's with me and I'm coaching live, you get access to that. But then you get all of these choices of small groups that you can join. So we have trained coaches to do that. If you were to join something like that, I don't know, for 6 months or a year, it'd be at least $2,000 or $3,000 just for that piece of it. And then last launch, we created Business Mentoring School, you guys. And we've been giving that to our clients for free as we create it. And it is fire. If you want to know how to build a business with heart and soul without compromising your faith or your family, this is your program. And you don't even have to do any of Business Mentoring School if that doesn't apply to you. But so good. And then we have a 90-day start guide that walks you through exactly how to start with our program. If you were to do, I added all of that up, that would probably be $26,000 a year. You can join our program for $797 for a year, and you get the planner for free. The reason that is such a good deal is because if you were joining monthly, you'd pay about $1,200 in the year, $97 a month. Again, you could barely even go to one therapy appointment, much less like get all of this and get coaching and get small groups. So even the monthly is like such a no-brainer, but the yearly is incredible. So for $797, you basically get 4 months for free. You get all of the extra bonuses that come from being a yearly member. There's several of those. And if you join today, you have through Saturday night to join us to get added to our Innovator Circle, which is 3 extra coaching calls with me. So that group will have 3 extra calls with me. And then if you end up doing the yearly, again, you'll get this for free. If you already got a free planner during the workshop, we will give you your next planner for free. So you get 1 planner free per year. So we do these quarterly planners every 3 months. And then, oh, there we go. $797. Yeah, you instantly get added to our VIP program when you join yearly. And then this is the other thing, you guys, pay attention because listen, if you're going to join monthly, we have an extra special link for you. If you're going to join monthly, what we decided to do just for this launch, since you've already paid $27 to be here today, you can join for $70. So you don't waste the money that you paid here. I don't think you feel like you wasted it anyways, but you don't pay the monthly that you pay here. You can join. This is a separate link, and this is lifementoringschool.com/join. So if somebody will put in the chat that if they're going to join monthly, and that's the only link that you can do that on, is lifementoringschool.com/join. We still highly recommend the yearly because, again, you get this for free. You get added to our VIP, which gives you access to way more calls. So many amazing things when you join yearly. But if you want to take your $27 and apply it and join us for a month, we would love to have you. It is a monthly recurring fee. And most of our people who come in, most of our people who come in never leave, actually. It's like Hotel California. Okay. And then I wanted to go over a couple of the bonuses. So the fast action bonus is if you join today, and we're actually going to extend this through Saturday so that people who are watching the replays will have a chance to do this. If you join today, you get added to the Innovator Circle. You get extra calls with me for 90 days, just so that I can make sure you're getting what you need. Now, the thing of it is, this is the 3rd time we've tried this. And the reason we probably will never get rid of this now is because our people have loved it. Because you're on a call right now that's on a webinar style. So you can see me, but I can't see you. These calls are the Innovator Circle calls are in a meeting style, and I can see your face and we can chat and I can help you through any issues you're having. So you get 3 of those extra calls if you join by Saturday. And then again, the yearly bonus is $797. You get 4 months free planner. You get everybody gets Business Mentoring School for free while we're creating it. And you get all of our courses, which is so many, you guys. Basically everything that I've created over the last 2 years, you get it. And then ongoing workshops. So the people in Life Mentoring School who attended today got to come here for free. So all of our future workshops are free to you if you're in our program. All right, next. I need, Angela, I'm going to go ahead and start writing a few names. If you can send me names of people who are joining, we're going to add them to our innovators circle. And then I'm going to answer some of your questions. So if you do have questions, keep putting them in the chat. Tony just joined. Tony E. I saw a bunch of you who joined, and now I know the registration fee is waived during launches. So we normally have a $200 registration fee. We waive that if you join us during a launch. Who just said that? Angie. The link is ediewadsworthcoaching.com/ no, that's not the link. The link is lifementoringschool.com/enroll. Oh, Angela just sent me. Taylor. Crystal, yay. Nancy. So good. Sarah. Now the link, if you wanted to join for monthly, we do 4 launches a year. Our next one will be at the end of June. Monthly members will receive Business Mentoring School. Yes. Tracy Street. Yes. Michelle. No, this is, somebody asked if this is certification. I do have a certification program. It opens in April. So if you're interested in that program is 4 months, $6,000. It's only open to people in Life Mentoring School. So if you think you want to get certified with us, you definitely need to join. Sarah, who else did I miss? Oh, monthly says it's closed. Shannon, let me have Angela. Can you text Hopi and have her check that? Did I put Rachel down? Oh, I did. Awesome. The monthly link is lifementoringschool.com/join. The yearly link is, or the monthly link, that's if you want to apply your $27. If you want to get a yearly membership, which is by far the best deal, go to lifementoringschool.com/enroll. Oh, yay. Jennifer, Kelly, Amy, Becky. Amazing. Alexandra, Kaylee. Alexandra. The other thing that we decided to do, you guys, because we had so much fun at our style workshop, is we are going to have, oh, Julie, yay. We are going to have a girls' night tomorrow night. Coaching calls are at least once a week. We've been adding more because the more members we get, the more people we want to be able to coach, but once a week for sure. Brenda. We're going to have a call tomorrow night, which is a like a girls' night. So I'll show you a few more, like, because you guys were asking stuff that we didn't link to, like lip gloss and eyelashes and all of that. So we're going to do another girls' night tomorrow night, and you'll be able to join the innovator circles. Because somebody just said, like, I'm at work, I can't join right now. You'll still have a chance to do that, but join us tomorrow night. We'll send you out the link for the girls' night. Michelle. So good. Oh, Fernanda. Yay. How long will it take to receive the planner? If you ordered it this week, you should have it in a week. So you definitely should get it by the 1st of April. If you sign up for an annual membership now, it starts from the day you join. Yes. Thank you, Ramona. Don't forget Michelle's name for Wendy. Yay. Got it. This is so fun. Yeah. Girls' night is going to be tomorrow at 7. Crystal, do you mean the link to order the planner once you join LMS, you will get a link. Deb joined. Yay. Shanna. If I sign up for monthly, am I put on auto pay? Yes, Sandra. Joining LMS is the best decision I made all year. Yay, Courtney. Or who said that? Oh, that was Angie. Yay, Angie. Do I need to be in LMS to enter certification? Yes. Can I pay for annual, but start next month? We close the annual next Friday. So you have a week to do the, you actually have a week to join, but if you join by Saturday, you get added to this early adopters group, this innovators circle. And, but yeah, you have till next week. Who just said that? I signed up. Missy! Last time we did this, you guys, we had so many names on this thing by the Saturday night that we closed it. It was so fun. We were like putting people in. Holly. Okay. So if you have questions or want to be live coached, let me know. How long do you have to be in LMS to be in the innovators circle? You don't have to be in for long. It's if you join at the first of these launches, Bridget, that's how you get in. If we join monthly, are we committed for a year? No, you are not. You can cancel anytime. Can we hear more about Business Mentoring School? We've done 3 modules in there so far, a module on leading yourself as someone who's running a business, a module on marketing, and right now we're working on a module on selling. And each of those has 4 or 5 videos in it. It's designed really for either coaches or social sellers who are trying to learn how to market themselves. Who do I contact about current member billing? Support at edwadsworthcoaching.com. Oh, add the style guide back in. Angela, give the style guide again. Yes, you can have the style guide. Here we go. I think I missed some writing them down. So we are going to bring a couple of people onto coach. And then at 2:00, we are going to have a coaching panel. And you'll hear some reinvention stories from a couple of our coaches. We're so excited to share those with you. So if you do want to be live coached, just raise your virtual hand. Tanisha. Thank you, Angela, for sending that. I have had a year and a half of Christian counseling and benefited greatly in a one-on-one structure. Is the group setting as effective? Y'all, let me just tell you, I have had that as well, Christy, and I have gotten more out of the group coaching programs than I'm in, I think, than I did individually, but I think both can be really effective. So it might be worth trying out. Is the planner made available every 90 days? Yes, it sure is. You can order the planner every 90 days. The reason that we do it the way we do it is because we were just providing it digitally. But then when I went to my printer and tried to print it off, it was like $85 to print it. So we found a printer that can do it for cheaper than that. I think it's $24 for our members to order it each time. Jenny says, I've gotten so much out of group coaching. I usually watch the replays. Yeah. Is Girls Night for LMS or Reinvention Summit? Both. Will the style guide be available again? Yes, let's link it again. I know the chat's going so fast. Can I order the planner and not be enrolled in LMS? Not unless you already got it through the summit. Hannah, we haven't made it available to the public yet because we have to pay for all of those planners ahead of time. So we have to have like a count, of how many people are going to get it. So we're not sitting on, 1,000 planners that are dated March 2023. So we have not been able to find a way to make it to the public. Angela, can you share the replay link, the style guide link, What else is everybody asking for? I decided to get serious about journaling and processing my past emotions and serious about the thoughts about my weight. And I've lost 12 pounds in the last 4 weeks. Unbelievable. Nicole, I love you. That's so amazing. The style guide link isn't working. I wonder if, let me see if I click on it. We will get it working for you. It is in the library. I think if you put it downloaded right for me. Can some other people click it? I wonder, I'm not sure what the problem is. It downloaded perfect for me. Okay, it's working for a lot of you. Okay. Which group coaching programs are you in? I am in Tanya Lee's. I am in Corinne Crabtree's business membership. And I'm in Self-Coaching Scholars, several. How is mine different? It's just different. I don't know. We probably got some people in here who are in some of those. It's hard to explain. Of course, we have a basis of faith in ours, which makes it a little bit different, but it's not like a Bible study or like it's not that kind of thing. I do think our community is very unique. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What else did I miss? I just signed up. Oh, awesome. You have to click the download button to see the style guide, community. Yeah, it makes ours different. So good. Okay. Let's see if I can bring anybody on to coach. Lynn Huggins. Let's bring on Lynn. So we will coach for a little bit and then we'll take a break and do our coaching panel and our reinvention stories to finish out the day. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. If you've never been present for live coaching, it's really powerful. Lynn, I tried to bring you on. Let's see. I don't see you. This is how it works when we're doing live coaching in my program is unless I bring you on, you don't see the person. But when you raise your hand, it gives me the option to bring you onto the screen and then we can chat. Hi, Lynn.
Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you, dear?
I'm good.
Good. I can't see your face, but that's okay. Either way is fine. You can leave your video off or turn it on, whatever you're comfortable with.
It's working a little slow. It's coming.
Okay. Sounds good. How can we help you today, my dear? Oh, did I lose you? Hi. Oh, shoot. I think I lost her. Sometimes Zoom is crazy and we have so many people on today. Are you there, Lynn? I'm going to put you back to attendee and try you again. Let's see if we can bring Melissa on. I'm not sure what was wrong with your, not sure what was wrong, but it just like lost you. Hi, Melissa. Melissa Heater, I think it says. Sometimes people do raise their virtual hand and don't mean to. So just check and see if your hand is raised. If you don't mean to, that's totally okay. You can just decline coming on. Oh, yay. Here she is. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so fantastic. How can I help you today?
You're like a breath of fresh air. I'm so grateful.
I'm so glad you're here today. Is this your first workshop with us?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I've thought about coaching for a long time and other platforms, and you just kind of speak my language. Like you said, there, everybody speaks to different people, and you certainly speak to me. So I'm grateful to be here. I did join, or I enrolled.
Yay! Welcome.
Yes. And so I've procrastinated for doing something like this for a long time. Just kind of making the commitment. So I feel really great that I've kind of jumped in.
Yeah.
And so I am 47 and I know where you were Our stories are pretty parallel.
Okay.
I in sales my whole life, and but I've always felt that I had more to give. I earn a great living, so it's really tough to kind of make the switch and the change. But my heart is kind of pulling me in the other direction. And as you were speaking of gifts and hidden talents, I certainly don't feel like I put everything out there. So that's something that I really want to work on.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
So today, what did you learn today do you feel like today was already a transformation for you?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. And I think for me, like, it's connecting with people, and I just connected with you. I don't know. You just spoke to me. And in terms of just getting me to get off my duff and to think differently, and kind of show me what's possible. So I
So
know
good.
I know I have it in me for like years.
Yes.
I said I have something great to do and I'm just not doing it. And it's just, yeah, it's tugging at my soul. And as you said, unused creativity turns into all those other things. And I feel like that's kind of where I am. And, I'm
Wow.
47, but I'm 47. I still have a lot of life to go and enjoyment to have. So I really want to make a
That's
change.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's so funny to hear you say that, because I remember thinking, like, when I was like starting some of the things that I'm starting, I'm like, I'm already 47. And now I'm like, gosh, I'm so young. Like, what else can we do? Like, I think what will happen is as you step more and more into that, you'll realize like what a lie that was to,
Yes.
your brain's feeding you a lie because it wants to keep you safe and all of that.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you for showing up today. Like, I don't think these meetings that we have together are ever on accident.
I agree.
And I'm so just proud of you for taking the step to be here, and then taking the step to be like, you know what, this is for me, and putting my stake in the ground. So proud.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Of
So
course.
good.
Looking forward to the class.
Yes. All right, Sherry, let's bring Sherry on. I know. Isn't that right? She's just a baby. Oh. Hi, Sherry. Come on, Zoom. Zoom's like, wait, you got 1 million people on today. We can't do our thing. Oh, don't let it make you feel old, Ariana. That's just a story. Oh, she declined. I don't think she meant to raise her hand. Okay, Penny. Let's see if Penny wants to come on. Penny. And any of our LMS students who want to get coached, raise your hand. Oh, we got some. Okay, good. I'll keep going through the list till we get somebody. I think people who haven't been on Zoom a lot. Oh, she's going to join. Yay. Hi, Penny.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
So excited.
I'm so happy you're here. Was this your first workshop with us?
It was. This is a year of change for me. And so I saw your workshop. It came up on my face group feed quite a couple times. And I finally said, you know what? I think I'm supposed to go to that.
Aw, how was it for you today? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I'm looking to fulfill the purpose that God has for my life. And so this workshop just fit in perfectly. I left my job. I'm leaving my church. I'm just going to follow the path that God has for me. So it's a wonderful thing what you were talking about. And I wrote down a lot of notes.
You did?
I did. I wrote down a lot of notes, and I kind of sat and meditated and thought during the break, and just kind of sat in what was shared and let it settle in. And,
so good. Isn't it such a gift? Good. It's such a gift to give yourself to kind of get out of your life for a second, to think about your life, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you really said your purpose is about loving God and loving people, I was like, that's it. I mean, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so simple, and it's
so simple.
It's so complicated,
And we're doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And dismissing it, right? Mm-hmm. We're doing it, dismissing that we're doing it. So good. Well, you just
Yeah.
got a beautiful smile and light in your eyes. It looks like you're ready to make the change that it's time for you to make. I'm so proud of you. Such courage to show up on a call like this and come on and tell a little bit of your story. So courageous.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, we all fulfilling our purpose is part of what God intended us for, right?
Yeah.
And our gifts are meant to be given. That's why they're called gifts.
Yes.
Right?
So true. I love that.
I love everything that you shared today. It spoke to me when you were talking about how they, if we don't use them, how they turn and they, what was the
Yeah, I think her quote is that she says they metastasize into grief, rage, judgment, sorrow. Yeah. And I mean, there's a warning in there, but also I think it helps us understand sometimes why we find ourselves in periods of life like that. We're like, oh, I'm not using my own gifts. So now it's turning into something that I don't love.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me up to speak. I appreciate it.
You're welcome so much. So many well wishes to you. All right, let's bring on Sherry. Oh, did we try Sherry? I thought maybe. Let's try Amy. Amy. Oh, somebody sent me. We got lots more people joining. I'm falling behind. Lynn, who else? Let me look at this text. Is the $797 broken down to monthly payments? No. If you choose to do the $797, that's one payment, or you can do monthly payments. If you do the monthly payments, your first one will be $70 because we'll apply the 27, and then after that it will be $97. 2 questions. What happens next, and how do I access Business Mentoring School? This is a great question. Let me share my screen really quick, you guys. I still don't see Amy coming on. I'm going to try one more time to bring you on, Amy. Let's try that. I'm going to share my screen really quick and I'll show you what it looks like inside there. So if you go to share my screen, there we go. If you go to lifementoringschool.com/enroll, you will see this page. Get the skills and coaching you need to get unstuck and start seeing powerful results in your life and relationships. So you'll see that. You click that enroll, or you can scroll all the way down. And I think you have the choice here. Or is this, oh, this is only for the $797. No, you have both choices here. So if you click enroll, you can choose either this $797, instant access, bonus content, live coaching, free copy of our planner. And then, so these are the differences. So you just go to that page. Then if you go to, let me stop sharing. I still don't see Amy. I'm going to try for Renee. Let's try to bring Renee on for coaching. Let me show you inside Kajabi and show you where what it looks like inside our program. And depending on which membership you have, it might look a little different. Let's see. Website. Okay, log in. Oh, shoot. This doesn't have my login. Darn it. I'll have to show you that in a second, y'all. Let's see if Renee came on. Renee didn't come on either. Let's try Amy. Amy and then Jacqueline. No, we just tried Amy. Let's try Jacqueline. Kajabi is a free app. Yes. And once you join Life Mentoring School, you can see all of your content there. So it's a great app to be able to take with you, as you go. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi there. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be on with you guys today.
I'm so happy you're here. How can we
Thank
help you,
you.
dear?
Okay, so I have been in LMS since the last launch.
Awesome.
And I realized that I haven't been challenging myself. And my
Okay.
story is that I'm too busy. I have a demanding job that takes up all of my time during the day. And then also, being a good steward of, doing God's work. And so I feel like during my 8 hours of working that I shouldn't do anything like LMS or, things that don't apply to work. So I just feel like I don't have time to do the things that I want to do, like the LMS work, like working out, like starting my blog, being a coach, all those other dreams.
Yeah. Okay. So just notice how your brain has a story that we don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you create? First of all, how does it feel when you tell that story? When you say, "Oh, I just don't have time." Like, what's the feeling in your body?
Frustrated, stressed.
Yep.
Not empty, but a longing that is not being filled.
Okay, perfect. So that's the second part of the creation cycle. So your thought is, I don't have enough time. That makes me feel stressed, a little overwhelmed, this longing. And what do you do from that feeling?
What I do is I end up doing nothing.
Yes.
So then I just work and then I do nothing. I scroll on my phone.
Yeah. So the truth of it is, this is why I wanted to walk you through it, because we all have this story that we don't have time. But when we live from that thought, you will just prove you don't have time. And the truth is, you do have time. You're just using the time in a different way. And not because you're not a disciplined person, but because you've got the wrong thought. So what if you just decided, I have plenty of time to do the things that nourish me?
It definitely opens up, definitely changes the way that I think about my day, the time that I do have, for sure.
Right. It's so powerful. I promise you, it's the same with money, with people who say, well, if I just had more money. That's not true, because people who struggle with money, if you just give them money, they haven't fixed their mindset around money. So they still won't have money, even if you give them money. So if we gave you another 2 hours in a day, but you didn't fix this mindset, the 2 hours of a day would be wasted.
Right.
So you just decide, like when your brain's going to offer you, I don't have time, you decide to practice the thought, I have so much time to do everything that nourishes me.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then from that thought, you'll create time for yourself. I promise you.
Okay.
This is such a beautiful example of how powerful thoughts are, right? And we don't think that's a thought. We think we're just speaking the truth. But that thought is having a powerful effect in your life that you don't like.
Absolutely.
So you get to choose a different thought. I love that.
Thank you.
We love having you in our community. I can't wait to see what you create with this new thought.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
All right, bye.
So much love. All right, let's bring on Adele. I love your name, Adele. Remember, if you decide to do the yearly membership, Edie Wadsworth Coach. No, I keep saying that one. That's not it. lifementoringschool.com/enroll. If you want to do the monthly membership where you apply your $27, you go to lifementoringschool.com/join. Oh, Michaela. Is it Michaela? Michaela just joined. Yes. All the replays are in Kajabi. The replays also will be on a replay page that you'll get sent in an email. Probably you've already got that one. Oh, Adele did not want to come on. Let's try Angelina. I think some people accidentally raise their virtual hand. If you click over where it says more, you can see if no, it's not under more. In my screen, it's just right on the bottom of the screen where it says raise hand. So you can put your hand down if you don't want to be called on. I don't think she did either. Let's try Jenny Eggers. No, Angelina's coming. And then we'll go to Jenny. Hi. Angelina, I can see your picture, but I can't hear you. Let's see if we can ask her to unmute. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Yes, so good to see you. I don't know if you're on your phone. If you're on your phone and you want to show us your video, I think you scroll over or push a button at the bottom. It's okay if you don't, though, too.
Well, I'm right in the middle of cleaning.
Oh, perfect.
So-
You can just talk. It's totally fine.
I'm a hot mess.
How can I help you today, my dear?
My situation is that I was just laid off from my job. I worked as an administrative assistant for an IT company in the resource department. And long story short, we got a new boss. He brought his wife in. His wife wanted to work remotely, so he made her got her all trained up, and they downsized and they got rid of me. So I'm a victim of nepotism. And then they also said that my creativity was not appreciated, even though they kept all of the documentation I created for them, and I streamlined information for them using my creativity and and that sort of thing. So anyway, I feel like I've just been beaten up and thrown to the curb, and on top of this, they decided to fire me while I was sick, literally sick in bed for the first time that I had started working there. I had to take 3 days off.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Angelina. You have a way of telling the story of what happened to you. It kind of reminds me a little bit of how I used to tell the story about my past. It wasn't like a job loss, but it was like this and this and this happened to me. And I didn't realize there was any other way to tell the story because it just felt like I was telling the truth, right? And when you tell the story, you're like, no, this is what happened. But there's so much freedom in realizing that you get to tell this story however you want. Now, when you tell it like you're currently telling it, how do you feel? Like just all the stuff you just said. I got fired. I was sick. They took my stuff. When you say it all like that, how do you feel?
Like a victim.
Yeah. And what do you do when you feel like a victim?
It immobilizes me.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, gosh, I can so relate to this. And I even love how you say it immobilizes me. I feel like that's what my story about my past did to me for a long time. And then I realized this story is optional. And what if somehow what happened to you is the best thing that ever happened to you? What if we could see into the future and this opens up a path for you that you never could have seen coming, that you can't imagine? Like, what if this is all somehow rigged in your favor?
I always, my saying is that there's always something good, no matter how tragic it is, because I believe that, and I do look for that. But I think because this just hit me when I was at my lowest point, physically, mentally, spiritually,
Yeah.
and suddenly, that it really took the wind out of my sails. And for the first time in my life, I'm looking in the mirror at myself and saying to myself, who am I? Why didn't I speak up? Because after they said they were going to do that, they said, do you have anything to say? Do you have any questions? And I just said, no. I didn't even defend myself. I didn't argue. I didn't try to keep my job that I really need, because I take care of rescue dogs with disabilities, and I don't have children. So this is what I do. This is where I express my love. But anyway, with even all those concerns in my mind, I
Yeah.
just froze. And
Yeah. And listen, rightfully so. So we don't want to take the pain that you're in and say, just don't think about that and think a new thought. We want to be with ourselves where we are. We want to be with ourselves when we have sorrow. And we want to validate, like, this is really hard for me. And we want to give ourselves a moment, or maybe it takes a little longer to really experience the pain that we have. And then we want to ask ourselves, now what? Now who do
I'm
I
lost.
want?
I'm lost now because I planned on retiring there in my mind. And I always wanted my ideal job was to work from home because I have these disabled dogs and, I need to care for them. And, I took them out of bad situations to care for them properly, with good food and natural things and whatnot. But anyway, I feel like I'm letting everything down around me. I'm afraid. I'm trying not to be afraid. I'm trying to manage the situation. I did have a good cry because I needed it. I needed to let go of, they hurt me really bad, and it came out of the blue. And I was angry because I trained his wife and I trained other people around me, but no one helped me. I had to learn that job on my own. It was something new. And, the whole time I kept saying to myself, is God trying to tell me something? I'm trying to do everything I can to learn this new skill, and everything is against me. It was like riding in a windstorm that I'm going in the opposite direction instead of being pushed in the way the wind is blowing. Everything was so hard. And when this happened, there was almost a sense of relief. At first, like, thank God you took me out of this. But at the same time, now I'm scared. And now I'm standing here and I'm praying every day, God, why have you let this happen? Or I'd let it happen to myself. I don't know, because I would take full responsibility if I could figure out what it was I did wrong, but I can't. I just really can't. And I've spoken to others there that know me, and they just said, oh, they just did you so wrong. And I said, I would hate if I could spare someone that what I went through, I would do that in a minute, and I just, I'm the type of person that helps people. Like, for example, they didn't want to train me. They did it deliberately because there were people there. They were funny with me. Like, I came in with skills they didn't have. And I think they were funny with me about that, and I was changing things right out of the gate and making them quicker and better and faster. And I did that out of the goodness of my heart. I wasn't hired for that. I just saw the need. And
Yeah. And here's the thing that I want you to do, though, because there are so many amazing qualities about yourself that you've told me that you are going to get through this. And the gifts that you have will now not be wasted on people who don't appreciate them, right? And you're going to be able to take these gifts and take these skills that you have and create what you want for yourself. And the more you believe that, the truer it will be. So you don't have to rush to get there. You don't have to rush. Take time, grieve, be where you are, feel this pain, process this emotion, like be willing to be with yourself, and then realize that all of the things that made you a great employee there will make you a great employee somewhere else. And I promise you, you will look back on this someday and go, I'm so thankful that happened. It didn't seem like a blessing at the time, but I can see how it worked out exactly for my good. And you just hold to that.
I created instructions with everything I learned. I took the time, created instructions. You know why? Because I didn't want anyone to have to go through what I had to go through and struggle to learn all the different
but you can use that right now. You're almost using that because I want you to think about the thing we talked about earlier with true self and false self. You could tell the same story in a way that reinforces your true self, right? Or you can tell that story in a way that eventually ends up hurting you. And so I want you to sit with the pain, be with yourself in this pain, and then ask yourself, what would my wisest, most loving, most nurturing true self do? And you have so much wisdom inside of you that you can access to figure that out. So we, feel for you. So many women on here are amazing. They're already saying, we're praying for you, all of that. But you have
Thank you
so
much.
yeah. And you have so much here to give to yourself to help yourself get through this. And I just want you to keep asking yourself, what would my wisest, most nourishing, most loving self do? What would she do? What would she think? And you'll get answers there that will guide you right through this. I promise. Thank you so much for being vulnerable with us today. And thank you for showing up here. Even just you showing up here, I think is going to be a transformation for you. It's going to give you some direction for going forward.
Thank you so much. I really
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your guidance.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much. All right, let's bring on Tracy. Tracy Street. We have a few more minutes, y'all, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll do our coaching panel and our reinvention stories. You do not want to miss this. We have two incredible coaches. I cannot wait for you to hear their stories. They joined LMS, I think a year ago. They have incredible stories to share, so I can't wait for you to hear them. All right. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Dr. Edie. Can you hear me?
I can. Can we see your pretty face?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hi, I'm so excited to get to talk with you. You're
I
plugging
am
my
so
baby.
excited to meet you. Did I just write your name down on my board? I think I did.
Yes, you did. You might hear some sound effects from my 4-month-old. So
We
quick
love
story-
babies.
I'm so glad. I do too. Quick story about how I found you. So he was born in November, and I
Okay.
was up all hours of the night, nursing him, scrolling my phone to stay awake.
Yeah.
And one of your ads came up, like on my Facebook, on my Instagram, and I just connected so much with what you said. And I thought I went and followed you. And then
Okay.
this morning I woke up and I realized I didn't. And I was like, oh no, like
Who was that crazy lady?
Yeah, like I want to know what she has to say. I connected so much. So I started Googling. I had your name wrong. I was Googling Evie with a V, like Dr. Evie. Life coach.
Okay.
I couldn't find anything. So I prayed. I was like, Lord, if I'm meant to connect with this woman, like, please put her back in my feed, put her back in my path. And he did. And so I did Made for More. Actually did it with my
Okay.
husband in December, and but did not have the capacity to join LMS because I wasn't sleeping.
Okay.
But I'm back for this, and I'm excited, and I'm sleeping a little bit more because
Amazing.
Yes, but so my question, my primary struggle, and my 90-day goal, and my desire in life.
Yeah.
I have these two amazing, beautiful children, amazing family. I'm so in love with, and I feel like I do not show up for them well because I'm frequently exhausted. I am so tired. And that is my primary story that I tell myself. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think you create? Now, I know that it feels true. Your body is tired. It feels true. But I just want you to ask yourself how you feel when you focus on that. When that becomes like the thing that you say all the time, every day. How do you feel?
Defeated.
More
deflated,
tired. Yes.
down, yeah,
Exhausted.
down.
Yeah. And then what you create from that, the actions that you take, think of that. What actions do you take when you just tell yourself, I'm just so tired?
Giving up before I even start attempting to do something, giving up on like making a healthy dinner, giving up on trying to get a room clean, giving up on engaging with my 4-year-old.
Yeah. So what you create is you create the thing that you keep thinking about. So even your first thought, like, I don't show up the way I want, That's just a thought. Do you see how powerful it is with that? Even when you think that's just true, but when you say that to yourself, then you just create that.
Yeah.
So what if you just decide, like, I'm in a busy season and I just show up exactly how I want for my kids. And then you just, it's not that you don't,
True yet.
I know it doesn't feel true, but what will happen over time is you'll find evidence for it. So I promise you, tell me right now, 3 ways today that you have showed up for your kids that you're proud of.
I took a lot of extra time and care to do my daughter's hair because she wanted a braid for school.
Amazing.
I'm still nursing that baby. He's 14, almost 15 pounds now.
Yes, nursing that baby. I mean, you're taking care of that sweet baby while you're on this call.
And I sang.
You're
with
doing
my mom
it.
on the river to school.
Yeah, you're doing it all day long. You are showing up, and your brain will always want to direct you for how you're not doing it enough or right. And you just keep redirecting it like, no, I am the mom for them. And I show up for them in so many amazing ways.
Let me grab my
And as you think that, yeah, you're going to have to show us this little baby cakes. And as you, hi, little chunker. And as you keep doing, as you keep reminding your brain for what you want it to focus on, you'll see the literal millions of ways that you're showing up for them every day.
Okay. He just
This
made a
is
really
gonna-
fun sound
okay.
effect. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but thank you, Trudy. I'm really excited.
You're so welcome. Welcome to our group. We're so happy to have you.
Thank y'all so much.
Thanks for agreeing to be coached. Okay, dear ones, we are 10 minutes before the hour. We are going to take a quick break and we're going to come back at 2:00 for our reinvention stories. I wanted to show you, I will try to catch up on some of my names in the break. But some of you had a few questions and I wanted to answer those before we go. I know you can't see this very well, but when you join, let me be clear about the differences. If you do the yearly membership, lifementoringschool.com/enroll, you get a year for $7.97. You get added to our VIP list, which means you get some extra calls, extra bonuses inside the portal, and you get a free planner. If you do the monthly membership, you go to lifementoringschool.com/join, and you'll get to apply your $27 from today in order for your first month. So when you join, you get instant access. This is for both people, both groups. You get instant access to our entire library. So all 4 of those sections that we talked about earlier, you get instant access. Live coaching weekly, you get the chance to join our encounter groups, our small groups, which our people love, by the way. There are 17 different times that we have those encounter groups during the week. You get our amazing community. You can tell in the chat how supportive they are. You get the access to our planner. You get our ongoing workshops. You get access, first dibs to our live event, which is sold out for this year. It's in June, but our people always get first access to that. And you get the chance to apply to our certification program. The certification in the next enrollment is in April. So you get all of those things and all of our bonus courses. Yes, when you order the planner, you pay $5 shipping for that. I should have said. I think I have answered most of the questions. So we are going to take a quick break. And the Innovator Circle. Yes, I've had several questions about that. If you join before Saturday night, so if you join today, Friday, or Saturday, you get added to the Innovator Circle, whether you're a monthly or a yearly. So it doesn't matter for the Innovator Circle, just that you join by Saturday. We are going to have a girls' night tomorrow night at 7. We're going to talk about some fun stuff, a little more style stuff, and you'll have the chance between now and then to join and get added to our Innovators Circle on our board. All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick break and I'll see you back at 2.